Welcome to Catherine Biroy Show. Today, I'm especially honored to have one of my dearest friends in this entire world with me. Dr. Aleksandra Plazinic is Executive Communications Coach and Trainer, Keynote Speaker, University Lecturer with Ph.D. in Communications, Certified NLP Trainer, and Consultant with vast professional experience in international organizations, United Nations and European Commission, business consultancies, and within the university setting. Dr. Aleksandra is recognized as top 30 business coaching to look out for in 2022 by New York City Journal and 150 women thought leaders to follow in 2022. She was personally endorsed by Arianna Huffington and featured in Thrive Global, Entrepreneurs Herald, Thinkers 316, Medium, and many more outlets. Aleksandra, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. How are you?
Thank you, Catherine. I'm happy and pleased that we're actually doing this interview. And so good to see you. I'm doing great. Thank you very much. I hope that you're doing the same.
I am doing the same, and I'm very, very happy that we are finally here together and that we can share your beautiful story. You have such amazing achievements. But how everything started, actually, would you like to share a little bit about your story? How did you step into the field of public speaking?
That's a great question. Actually, I never thought that I would go in this direction because I finished economics and afterwards I did master in international marketing and management and another master in advanced European studies, international relations. And then my PhD tries to gather all of my education and my expertise, and it is communication, as you said. And I realized that everything is connected. So every area that I did in my past education and expertise, that everything has the same thread, and that is around communications. And after finishing my master's studies, I wanted to start my professional career with an international organization as European Commission. And at that time, I started to explore more about coaching and personal and professional development. Mm-hmm. And when I finally finished my PhD, I decided that I want to take this further and actually do the coaching. The idea, of course, came from myself because I realized that during work on myself that even though I had the achievements, and as you mentioned, many of them, I usually didn't feel that professionally successful, and I always thought that I should try more. And actually, I realized I suffered from the imposter syndrome. And as many overachievers do, even though they did amazing things in their lives, professionally and personally, we always strive to go further. But what is blocking us is actually this fear of perfectionism, of failure, of even success. And all those topics I was actually working on myself with my coaches and afterwards by myself. And now many of my clients actually have the same issues and challenges, if you like, and I really help them in that context. Because fear of public speaking is not just the fear of public speaking. There is so much more into that.
For me, you are absolutely brilliant, and you know that. I had the pleasure to work with you, and you are truly, truly amazing. And every credential which you have is truly very powerful. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that you had an imposter syndrome. And you just mentioned that fear of public speaking is something much deeper. So why do so many people fear of public speaking? When we look at it, it's probably from inside out. What do you think? Why, even I did, we have or had a fear of public speaking?
I did a lot of research about it, and actually it comes from way back, that is embedded in our subconscious, way back from our ancestors. Because at the time when we as humans used to live in the caves, we were surrounded usually by familiar surroundings. So you had your community and you felt safe there. And when you went, for instance, for hunting and looking for food, then there you were exposed. And imagine if you were left alone by yourself and all of a sudden you're surrounded by strangers. So by another maybe tribe or by animals. And this is actually that how public speaking looks today. So you're basically standing by yourself on a stage, and you're surrounded by total strangers. So this is where our fear gets triggered, which is that puts us into fight or flight mode. So if you're asking about the essence of the fear, it's actually there. But more into modern, let's say, experience and working with my clients, it's many things. So first, it's imposter syndrome. A lot of it has to do with perfectionism, especially people who want to really succeed and want to have everything in place. And that is connected with fear of failure, of course. Some people have fear of success, and it's a huge topic as well. So it's not just fear of not doing something well, but as well doing well what I'm going to do if I become that successful, or if I earn that much. Then there is sometimes a past trauma or past experience that we didn't do well, let's say in school at the public speaking, or we were at the school play and something happened. But the essence, if we dig really deeper, it's actually the fear of humiliation. And nobody wants to feel humiliated in front of others.
So there are many layers of fear when we go out on the stage. It can be so many different things for different people, right?
Absolutely.
When I will disclose a little secret, when I speak in public, I usually have few of my people in the public in the audience, so that I can actually focus on them. But when you work with your clients as a coach and helping them to overcome that fear, what would be your methods? I adore the fact that you mentioned it is in our subconscious mind. So it's not so simple, like I'm afraid on a stage. No, that has to be something deep. How do you work on that with your clients?
So my method actually is, I would say, a complex method that includes different aspects. So one of them is mind, body, and emotions, and as well as spirit and our energy. And I always like to think whether we're coping or thriving. So when you say fear of public speaking, many people come from many tips and tricks, and they're important, of course. And they're there to boost our skills and help us cope with stress, or let's say with heavy breathing. But sometimes if we're not dealing with the subconscious and many layers that are there, then it's very hard to thrive. Because we all like to take, let's say, a shortcut and take just tips and tricks and techniques and not work on the deeper level. But it is important, because that will give us really the benefits in the long run, and that is what coaching is all about. So not just working on, let's say, stress relief at that point, but helping my clients to work on the way they think, the way they reframe things in their mind, finding their own recipes for success, then how to prepare emotionally, because you project most of your words and to your audience through emotions, through your energy, not just the words, not just the artificial speech. Of course, body work is very important. And the body posture, because body, mind, emotions are very much connected. So hence the method that is multidimensional.
This is one of the reasons why I adore you, if there should be any reason, because you achieved so much. You worked with United Nations and European Commission. You have Ph.D. You are an NLP trainer. You're a professional, true professional in your field. And you point out very important things: energy, our spirit side, our emotional side. So it's not everything in our mind. There are so many different layers, and you touch base with all of them. And this is what I think it's very powerful when it comes to coaching, especially when it comes to coaching, which includes some kind of fear. So Thank you for sharing that. I think that's very important. And as we share awareness about that, I believe that many people will actually at least research about it and really work on it from a different perspective. But when we talk about like what we can do in that moment, like an exercise or something like that, I'm not looking for a quick tip, but you know, when you are on the stage and everything is going on, what is the thing that we can actually do to help ourselves before or when we step on the stage?
Yes, the coaching is all about actually teaching people how to help themselves, and those tricks can be different. The easiest one that we can use is breathing, because we breathe subconsciously, of course, and there are various techniques. And one that I like the most, the very easy one, is that you inhale counting to 7 and you exhale counting to 11. And the point here is that exhale has to be longer than the inhale, because according to the research, that's how we trigger relaxation. So it's not the same if we inhale for 7, counting to 7, and exhale counting to 7, but the exhale has to be longer. So this is something that you can do before going on the stage or before any event, maybe before the interview or performance, or even while you're there. So if something is happening and your stress level rises, then you can do that.
That's so beautiful. You know, I remember one of your videos which you did, and you were somewhere in the nature and you just said, look at the sky. And there is
Yes.
a song, Look at the Sky, which always start playing in my head when I start doing anything publicly. So thank you for that. But what you just shared is very powerful, because oxygen actually helps us to be present, and that's what's the most beautiful. Now we're going to have some fun, and I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on you to see how you are going to handle that. I'm just joking. I will ask you a few quick questions, and you have like 10 seconds to answer to me. My audience love this part. My guests not so much. But
fun is always good. So let's reframe that. I like how you reframe that to fun and excitement instead of fear. So that helps as well with a lot of public speaking. I'm excited to have fun with you.
So you will hear this very gentle sound when the time is up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite book?
Wow. Okay, you put me on the spot. I read so many books, and it's always like I passed them. So it's like this was my favorite, but then it just behind me and kind of embedded. I can share what I'm reading right now, and I picked a book on Harvard Business Review. It's actually right here on communications. And the best part that I liked here is that the research said that we connect emotionally the most, and actually that it's important in our speech to be authentic. And this is something that I promote, that it's not just about artificially just rehearsing your speech or your interview or your performance, but it's really, the point is authentically present yourself with your voice, with your emotions, with your experience. So I'm just glad that Harvard is really backing up with me on research with this.
Me too. And the reason why I didn't click on this bell is because today, when we are recording this, I actually published a video around that, not knowing that you are going to share this information. So the video is already out there. I know, you know, how the universe collide when we do things we love. What do you like to do in your spare time, if you have any?
I do. Well, I'm a very social person, so I like to meet with my friends and have coffee and actually go out. And I like to be on top of all the activities. So movies, traveling, that's my favorite activity. And lately, it's a lot of, as well, walking in the nature. So it helps me really soothe myself, and it's a great stress relief. So you can do that before public speaking, just 20-minute power walk, and
then look at
wonders.
Yeah, I love that.
Everything passes in 20 minutes.
Exactly. What would be your advice for someone? For example, a lot of my clients are coaches, consultants, and some of them are really afraid not just to go on the stage, but to record videos and show up in public. What would be your first advice to someone who is afraid to do such thing?
Well, of course, what we talked about, dig a little bit deeper and see where does it come from. But for some quick tips, of course, the breathing exercise is very important. And the second one is that you can use your body. So it's really important that we stand up straight, sit up straight, look in the sky, what you said, because it puts us in the alpha state of mind. And when you're looking up, there is no way you can think of your problems. It's as well backed up by neuro research. So before going to the stage, you can use the power woman position, which I find very powerful.
That's my favorite.
Yes,
one.
yes, you are the power woman of LinkedIn. Look up and smile. And you can stay in that position just for 2-3 minutes, and it will do the wonders, really. It just reframes your mind, it boosts your emotions, and this is how our body is actually connected to our mind and emotions with the, again, with the research backed up by embodied cognition.
Thank you so much for sharing, especially about the Wonder Woman pose. Yeah. When people would like to work with you, where they can find you, how they can reach out to you?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn or through my website, which is plazinic.com. But I'm very active on LinkedIn, and this is actually the connection that I have with my audience, where I share my tips and tricks and videos that you can find.
So beautiful. We will share the links so they can find you. And thank you so much for being my guest. It was truly an honor to work with you, to do this interview with you. You're just a sunshine, and I love seeing you shine, because this is the way how we empower the world to be the best version of itself, right? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Catherine, for inviting me. And I'm hoping that our audience will get everything they need to thrive.
I am absolutely sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.